Hey guys, welcome into the show. It's Arch City Now. Happy Thursday. 6:05 is the time. It is September 25th. Good to see you this morning. Glad that you see us. We're ready to do our thing as we do every morning. We get you started Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Arch City Now, all things St. Louis all the time. The headlines, the water cooler talk. Glad you're with us today. It's dark 30, as I like to say, outside on this day in St. Louis. Boy, it's going to be gorgeous today. Glad you're with us because we'll talk about it. That's good news. What, just under 80 today? 77, I think. 77, 78, sunny. What a beautiful fall day. That's some of the best weather you can ever get. Jump into the show. You can get us on YouTube now. The Twitter and the Facebook. One of these days we might figure it out. The technical aspect of things and looking for passwords. Moving from studio to studio, but we're glad you're with us. Jump in on YouTube, like, subscribe, share the show, let people know where we are, what we've got going on. And of course, we're grateful for doing everything that we do because of you. So you jump in. It's all good from that standpoint. Okay. Any stories, shout outs, events, things that are coming up, you let us know. That's what we do here. We like to pump that up, get that news out there. And of course, do our best to make sure that you guys get the stories that are going on out there. Okay, lots to get to today. We'll talk a little Cardinals. We've got NFL Thursday football tonight. Some news with Bass Pro Shops, by the way, which is the number one brand in Missouri, if you didn't know yet. Enterprise Center adding some new desserts, let's just say that, as the Blues begin their season. The U.S. College News and World Report rankings, we'll go ahead and break that down from the SEC standpoint as well, from what we saw there. College football playoff chances. You might be shocked at where Missouri sits on that list. Just maybe, I don't know. Blues getting ready to get set. Found out about there's a meet and greet coming up here with Pavel Buchnevich. We're going to talk about some news with Boeing. Rams money update, $30 million of it was given to help tornado victims in the North St. Louis, Del Mar area. Well, we'll let you know what the latest on that is. And anything else that you guys want to jump into from that standpoint. So also, this might blow your mind. Ryder Cup's coming up this year. It's coming up a couple weeks, actually this weekend. It's in New York, back at Bethpage Black. Just wait to hear the drink prices. You think it's great? You go to the Ryder Cup, probably costs a lot to get there anyway, if you could even get a ticket. And the drink price will blow you away. Some crazy stuff going on there. That's for sure. Anything else that you guys want to talk about? Like I say, let us know. We will do it here. We're grateful that you jump in with us Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Arch City Now. And then, of course, following us from 8 to 10 is Hot Take Central 2.0. Okay. Anything else that you guys have going on, let us know. We will talk about it. And, yeah, there it is. Cardinals finally eliminated. As I was looking down, Rye's here too. Rye, good morning. Glad you're back with us today. Anything new in your world from a livelihood standpoint? What's shaking?
Nothing new. Just waking up, going to work, enjoying it. Yeah,
that is Rye's voice. You'll hear him. Just want to make sure. Give him his introduction this morning on things that are going on. Before we get, we'll just go ahead and start it with there. Cardinals. I don't want to ever say I want to see them lose or things going bad, but I'm glad that they're finally officially eliminated from the playoffs. Just get it done. Sometimes it's like that tooth. You're a kid, you want to pull it out, but you don't. Parents, mom, dad, grandparents, whoever, we got to pull it out. It's just hanging. That's how the Cardinals season. We're just pull it out, get it done. It's over. It's time to move on. Cardinals officially eliminated after a 4-3 loss in San Francisco last night. Okay. It is what it is. They're now 78 and 81. They have 3 games left. They have today off, traveling to Chicago, take on the Cubs this weekend. And if they sweep the Cubs, they'll finish 81 and 81. They're not going to sweep the Cubs. They're just not. They're not going to sweep the Cubs in Chicago this weekend. So I know most people don't care. It is what it is. They'll finish the season there. When it comes to the wild card, the Cubs are already locked in, so they don't have anything to really play for. I mean, the Padres are right behind them by a couple games, but the Cardinals will not sweep the Cubs. They're just not going to. They got to be careful of not getting swept themselves. But 4-3 loss last night. It is interesting when you look at some of the things that have happened when you do a breakdown of where the Cardinals are. And we cover all things St. Louis: sports, entertainment, food, music, water cooler talk, whatever. This is the sports side of things. As we start to put the nail in the coffin of this 2025 season. So they will not finish with a record above 500. First time since 2016, 2018 that they've missed the postseason in 3 consecutive years. Do you care? Does it make a difference? They've also fallen short of postseason in 6 of the last 10 seasons and have only won 1 playoff series in that same time. So, and I'm not here to bash Mozeliak. I'm not, because the front end of his career was phenomenal. And yes, he'll be a Cardinals Hall of Famer wearing a red jacket. But I think we also give him more credit than what we should when you look at the breakdown. We're a very forgiving fan base. Go to New York. Go to Philadelphia. Go to Detroit, some places where I've been and talked to. They've fallen short of the postseason in 6 of the last 10 seasons. Yeah, we went to a World Series in 2014, and it's been cricket since. That's 11 years. I mean, that's a long... Maybe, okay, I grew up in a different time. A lot of success with the Cardinals. I'm sorry. But I've heard a lot of people on sports radio throughout the St. Louis area. Mozeliak's great. I'm just giving another perspective. Look at the numbers. Sometimes numbers lie. Sometimes they don't lie. I don't think it lies there. I mean, just think about this. Going all the way back that long. The last time the Cardinals didn't finish above 500 at least 2 times in a 3-year span, you have to go all the way back to 97 to 99. That's not so great. So you're looking at not even winning that playoff series. I just, yeah, it was good, but just remember where we really are from that standpoint. 1 playoff series in the last 10 years. Does that seem like that's above average baseball to you?
That's below average.
Yes, that's why I understand.
I'm so historic.
I don't
that
understand.
It makes me upset. Like,
I appreciate you saying that, right? And that's why I think it's like, I don't understand if anybody is praising what has happened. Well, the front end was good. It was. 1 playoff series in 10 years. Is that what we're about?
that is not St. Louis.
No.
That's why the fan attendance is going down.
I have no issue with Mozeliak.
Yeah, I don't either.
No issue, but I'm telling you, let's not write this off as some amazing professional accomplishment. Marks the first time since 2016, 2018 that the Cardinals have missed the postseason in 3 consecutive years. And they've fallen short of the postseason. And so they've made the postseason in 4 of 10 years.
Exactly.
4. And they've only won 1 playoff series in 10 years. Think about that. That's what Cardinal baseball has been reduced to. And it wasn't just in the, quote, last couple years. This has been a 10-year slide, people. A 10-year slide. I love my birds, and I love fact. I love real. I love black and white. And I love calling things out for what they are. Let's just be truthful. If 1 playoff series in 10 years is good enough for you Cardinal baseball fans, as supportive as we have been, then so be it. I know Hein Bloom is coming in to take things over, and there couldn't be a better time than change. There's no guarantees it's going to be successful. We can certainly hope. Let's just not forget this wasn't a 3-year drop. That's all I'm saying. I've heard too many people say this is, in my humble opinion, yeah, it's just a 3-year drop, but no, it has not been good. One playoff series win in 10 years ain't going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. I love Dennis Gates. I love my Missouri basketball. The recruiting's been phenomenal. Guess what? Missouri hasn't won diddly in 2 years in the tournament, so it doesn't matter.
They lost to my alma mater.
Oh, really? Which one?
I went to Drake.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Drake taking care of business.
Yes, sir.
Drake played basketball. Missouri didn't. Doesn't matter, as I said yesterday. Well, you've got to do it on the field. You've got to do it on the court. You have to. You got to do it on the ice. But let's not get mistaken. I've been very frustrated for 10 years watching our Cardinals only win one series. So, like I said, I've got nothing personal against Mosaic or the management or ownership group. Let's just be real, because you can't fix a problem until you admit there is one. And we can't put things in philosophical terms. And if you have one of these, anybody can master the art of debate, can debate this, debate that. Well, let's talk philosophy, because if you talk philosophy, there never really is a right or a wrong answer. It's just one of those things where I'm going to say this and you're going to say that. And then we try to find a winner or common ground. No, one playoff series win in 10 years is not going to cut it. This has not been a 3-year span. It's been a 10-year span. End of story. Cardinals now, we'll see 78 and 81. And you know what's happening there. And people can fall apart. I mean, I remember looking back to the beginning of the year, it looked like the Detroit Tigers were going to dominate the league. They were just overtaken yesterday. They were overtaken for their division. They're fighting for a wild card. But a positive story, if you guys don't know who Cal Raleigh is, I know it has nothing to do with St. Louis. This guy just hit 60 home runs for Seattle, and nobody knows about him in the league. Well, the American League knows about him. Seattle knows about him. But he just hit 60 home runs. That's a big deal. Congrats to him. The only other people to hit 60 home runs, and you already know what these guys had. They had help. They had muscle help. Drinking that muscle milk. Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, all three. And there's a reason why none of those three are in the Baseball Hall of Fame, whether you agree or disagree. By the way, I think there should be a separate section. I do.
There should be.
Then you've got Aaron Judge, Roger Maris, and Babe Ruth. Cal Raleigh. Let's add his name. 60 home runs. Congratulations to that young man, the Mariners catcher, for getting that done. All right. We'll see where but it is interesting. Without the Cardinals in the baseball playoffs yet again, my interest has faded. There's a lot of apathy, just like Cardinal fan, this entire season. The 2025 season will go down for me in one word: apathy. There is a great deal of apathy from Cardinals fans. And the thing that was really sad about that is you can take things for granted in life. So many years of fans going to Cardinals games. Well, guess what? There's a lot of people who started to make a living around the Cardinals games. Vendors, people who work the suites, people who work within Busch Stadium, people who work outside of Busch Stadium. If there's no people, there's no income. If there's no income, there's no money. And then people have issues. That was something else that arose out of this year. Another reason, which is why, we don't have a lot in St. Louis. We just don't. Being real, we don't. We don't have a lot of industry in the St. Louis area. Cardinals baseball has always been one of them. It's been a staple, and we need to find a way to get it back somehow, some way. Hein Bloom, step up. You're going to have an under 500 ball club to take over, and let's see what you can do from that standpoint. 6:20 on a Thursday, September 25th. Vic Faust here. We've got producer Rye alongside. If you want to jump in on YouTube, you can do that as well. We appreciate when you guys do that. Let us know stories that are going on throughout the St. Louis area. What do you guys want to talk about? What is the water cooler talk? What should we be getting out there on a Thursday morning? Sun starting to rise on what should be a beautiful area. The rain was here for a couple days on and off, and now we have sunshine and dry weather and just gorgeous, little, maybe a little warm for the end of September this weekend, but still it can beat the alternatives. That's for sure. But I just wanted to hit that Cardinals segment a little harder. And while we're talking sports, you got NFL football tonight, the Thursday night game. Don't know if you guys get into it all or not, but what you're looking at tonight looks like a pretty decent matchup. And when you're talking about these two teams, they've become rivals. You've got Seattle, who is 2-1, playing at Arizona, who is 2-1. And they're not two teams that get a lot of coverage regionally in our Midwestern area on CBS or Fox or NBC or ESPN. You don't see them on TV much. You'll see the Seahawks when they play the Chiefs because the Chiefs are on all over the place. But you just don't see the Cardinals playing that much. Kyler Murray, quarterbacking. We'll see Seattle kind of an upstart. Sam Darnold, now the quarterback Seattle. Minnesota let him go in favor of J.J. McCarthy. And Sam Darnold has come out of the gates pretty decently again. He's got 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in a couple games. But, there's some players there. So if you like football, you'll enjoy it. Obviously, that's the prime game, and it's in Arizona. Seattle, by the way, for you bettors out there, is a 1.5 favorite. Basically, close to being a pick 'em. The total is only 43.5. So you guys have fun with that. You take a look at it and see what you want to do this weekend when it comes to the football betting. By the way, the Chiefs host the Packers on Sunday. Mighty important game for both those teams. That's what I've loved about the NFL season right out of the gate this year. Looking at the schedules that they've put on some of these teams, early season games do matter big time. Chiefs could be 1-3. The Packers, who start out 2-0, could be 2-2, just like that, in a division with the Vikings and the Lions, who are also two very good teams. And if you think the Lions are going anywhere, I think they showed you after they literally physically beat the Ravens up and down the field and manhandled them, acted like a bully, big street bully, just beat them up, put Lamar in his place. So that's a tough division as well. From the chat line, Ryan says, I know they left us almost 40 years ago, but I will still be rooting for the Big Red tonight. You know what, Ryan, it's an interesting point that you bring that up. My first football was watching the St. Louis football Cardinals early on in my life. I watched, I think my first game, I can't remember, I think it was Jim Hart, but then I went back and it was Neil Lomax were the quarterbacks. These are old school names, but very popular names, Ryan. I know you don't remember them, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all good.
I remember the
Roy Green,
blue
Pat
and gold
Tilley,
Rams.
Deerdorf. Those were really good days too. Ryan, I'm glad you said it, but I have rooted for them and hope that they would do well, especially that we had Kurt Warner go to Arizona as well.
Oh, yeah, he did.
And he took him to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, after his
and they had it won, and then they gave up a drive in the game. Should have never happened. But it is interesting. There's parts of me that still think about that when I see the Cardinals. I'm like, because I like their uniforms, and I'm like, man, that takes me back to my early days, right? Long time ago. But why not? Especially since we don't have another team It's frustrating. St. Louis should have an NFL team. I know we probably never will again, but um, mm, 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 mm. No NFL team, no NBA, and we've got to do well with baseball, hockey, and soccer. And who knows, maybe it's going to be a really good year for the Blues. I was highly encouraged by some of the things that I heard yesterday off air, walking around all the brilliant hockey minds that are around the 590 studios over here at KLIS in Kirkwood. So we're listening from that standpoint. 6:29 right now. It is Thursday. It's September 25th. What's going on in your neck of the woods, Ryan? I appreciate you jumping in on the show. Oh, let me see what we look like. Okay, I got us. Checking it all out up there. You guys do what you do. You guys let us know what's going on and what you guys want to talk about. What's the water cooler talk all throughout the St. Louis area, what people are doing. Also, Ryan's like, are you kidding me? I was the president of the Vi Sikahema fan club. I met Vi, and I'll never forget this. As a kid, I was like, oh, he's not that tall, but he was so thick, and athletes are different now than when they were then. And then I'd watch him, and I could not believe how athletic he was. Now, Vi Sikahema was a special teams enigma for other teams. They could not figure him out. The secret Swiss Army knife. He could do it all. Vi Sikahema. Thank you, Ryan. You give me a smile on a Thursday morning. Are you looking up Vi Sikahema? Vi Sikahema. Ryan, good to be talking with you early on this September 25th. You know what we do? We're here till 8 o'clock. If you want to, you can give us a call. You can jump in on the YouTube chat line as Ryan is doing, or you can also give us a call, 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. And we'll talk. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to get into today from that standpoint. Right out of the gate, Cardinals officially eliminated. You can weigh in on that from that standpoint. How do you feel about the last 10 years? Cardinals only won one playoff series. This is more of a problem than just 3 years. That's my big point when it comes to the Cardinals. Let's not just say it's been 3 bad years. No, it's been 10 bad years. You don't win these playoff series? Really? One in 10 years? That's not enough. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. One playoff series in 10 years. Sorry, that's not the kind of Cardinal baseball I want. And it shouldn't be for you either. Okay, jumping on that. We're talking about NFL tonight. Seahawks at the Arizona Cardinals. And Seattle is a 1.5 point favorite at Arizona. So we'll get your opinion on that. When we come back, we'll tell you where Missouri is. Their chances on making the college football playoff. This may shock you. It did me. And I'm a Missouri fan. Can't wait. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We are the Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Vic Faust. This is Art City Now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. What up, what up, what up? Glad you guys are here. Happy Thursday. Happy September 25th. 6:34 is the time. We wake you up St. Louis Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. We try to keep it positive. There's a lot of positive stories out there. Sometimes there's not. Try to bring you the energy. We move around a lot as well, but we're grateful when you guys jump in. Good morning to you guys jumping in on YouTube. We'll be on other platforms as well. We're just grateful that you're here. Broadcasting live from our studios in Kirkwood. Lots of great places all around the St. Louis area. I was over in the Hill area yesterday for another profession that I'm in. It was just, it just blows my mind as I look around and see how things have kind of stood still in time in certain areas around the St. Louis area, including over at the Hill. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, what's happening in the St. Louis area, who needs a shout out, what's happening that may be interesting to others, we like to do it. We like to talk about it. We want to hear from you guys from that standpoint. Okay. It is Thursday, Friday Eve. High school football in the St. Louis area is a big deal. There are some games tonight as well. If you guys want to throw some shout outs out to alma maters, family members, friends playing tonight. It is Thursday. Got some games going on.
I also produce the East Side games, and also while we stream them on Friday at 7 p.m., they play Belleville West. It's at East St. Louis, and it's their second conference game. So, yes, will be exciting.
East St. Louis, we are your home of East St. Louis football as well. Thank you for getting that in there too, Ryan. You can check out the Flyers, loaded with a lot of talent, playing one of the top schedules in America. So if you see East St. Louis at 2-2 as a record, look at who they've played. That's what I always say. It's like the high school talent is top notch, upper echelon, what you're going to find. And they've been some close games as well around America. So grateful that you guys are with us today. 6:37, we take you to 8 o'clock every day. After that, it's Hot Take Central 2.0 with the former Blue, Cam Jansen, and of course, Jim the Cat Hayes, Cardinals broadcaster. He deserves what I consider, I haven't told him this. When I see him today, I'll let him know. He deserves hazard pay for having to cover the Cardinals this season. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. Anyway, we were talking some sports to start the show out today. I haven't really gotten into the news. I mean, not a ton of news going on. We'll talk about some of that Rams settlement money, which is a sore spot for me, but I hold out hope. I keep faith that money is going to be used for something that will be memorable and create more money. Plant that money and get something out of it. Okay. We were talking about football tonight. NFL's here. How about this? Mizzou's off to a good start, 4-0. They're going to beat UMass, who, by the way, is ranked as the second worst football team in Division I. I was looking at a list of rankings. Can't remember the source, but I think they were second or third worst. I think Grant told me the other day they lost to a team called Bethany or something. Anyway, it's an off week for Missouri. They're literally, and I don't know if this is a good thing or not. They basically
3 buys.
They have two buys,
yeah,
and then Alabama. But as of now, as of September 25th on this Thursday morning, your Missouri Tigers have some pretty positive, very favorable percentage rates when it comes to making the playoffs. This according to CBS Sportsline and betting. I put a lot of time into this because it's money, and money is important. And whether we like it or not, money does make the world go round. Money may not buy you happiness, but I've never known anybody that was upset to receive money. You right? Ever?
Never.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So if anybody tells you money can't buy happiness, just say, okay, fine. Have you ever received money and been upset? Okay, just remember. So betting is a very, very serious thing. Number one, when it comes to the percentage odds of making the college football playoff, Penn State, no surprise. In any of the polls, they're ranked second, third, whatever. Very solid team. Number two on that list, 84.5% of making the playoff, Ohio State. 3, Oregon, 76.4%. Georgia coming in at 4, 73.2%. Ole Miss at 70.8%. And a lot of this has to do with your schedule and who you still have to play and where. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Texas still 63.9%. Miami 50.2%. And in 8th place right now, your Missouri Tigers at 49.9. So just under 50% chance considered to making the college football playoffs. Even ahead of LSU, barely, Texas A&M, Bama, Louisville coming in there. Louisville surprisingly having a very good season quietly right now because nobody's been talking about Louisville. Solid team, lots of depth. Michigan, how about Memphis? Memphis, another team coming out of the trunk. They beat our SC, and then Iowa State. Those are the top 16 percentages when it comes to guesstimating Missouri. Anybody ready to put $100 down on Missouri making the college football playoffs? I love Missouri, but I'm not. I'm just not. I don't know. I don't know, man. That's some funny stuff when you look at that. Ryan, that was looking at something from earlier. So Missouri, that's a surprise to me when you look at their schedules because they're going to have to pull some upsets, or not upsets, but maybe win 2 or 3 games. That's a really tough 3-game stretch, whether it's Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and maybe in Auburn. Well, but you had Vandy. You know, there's 4 tough, and then and that's assuming you're going to take your business with Arkansas and Mississippi State, which you should, because if you're talking about the playoffs, those are games where maybe 2 losses get you in, but at the same point in time, your schedule compared to others will dictate at the end of the year and who else is in there.
And isn't Oklahoma? Did you hear about Oklahoma's quarterback?
Oh, we did.
Yeah. So.
But John Mateer is leaving for a while. But Oklahoma's solid. But their problem last year was they were solid, but they didn't have a quarterback, and their receivers were hurt. This year they have some receivers back and one of the nation's top quarterbacks, and their defense is every bit as good as it was last year, if not a little better. His first game, all we were told was Oklahoma's quarterback will be back at some point this year, some point in this season. It's like, okay, he'll probably be back for the Missouri game, because if you have any kind of surgery to your hand, and they wouldn't get specific on it unless you have inside sources at Oklahoma. And Sooner fan is a different type of fan. I covered Oklahoma for 3 years. They're a different type of fan. It's a different breed. I'm sorry if you're a Sooner fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You guys are different. Like, they literally, like the old Boomer Sooners, would make a little circle and not tell anybody anything. Oh, we can't let anybody know we're right here in Oklahoma. They're a different breed of fan. That's never covered anything like OU Sooner fan. And now Missouri's going to play them every year. I was like, good God, oh mercy, we got to see OU fan.
And it's right? Aren't we going down there?
Going down this Norman Boomer Sooner. But that's all right. We'll see where it all goes. So anyway, Missouri also has homecoming this weekend. If you're heading there, that's a good time. It really is. Let us know what you like doing when you go to Columbia. If you haven't been there yet, I've been singing the praises of Columbia for quite some time, especially now. Game day experiences at the game, outside the stadium, all throughout Columbia. Missouri has stepped up over the past decade and then some when it comes to the SEC college experience. Young, old, I don't care where you're from. It's just a damn good time. You drive into Columbia on a nice day and you just feel the energy. You see the atmosphere, the black and gold everywhere, the tailgates. It's a whole different experience with Missouri being one of the country's top teams year in, year out. And it's only getting better. Just wait till you see the expansion. You see the stadium. The stadium is beautiful. Deep SEC fan will tell you, hey, stadium doesn't look like ours. It's just wait till they get this North End Zone project completed, which will be ready for next season. And if you haven't looked yet, you've got Prabula coming back next year. I know we're still in the beginning. Hardy, he can't go anywhere. Roberts. I mean, you've got 3 of those linemen, receivers. Now they'll lose out on defense, but Missouri's been amazing when it comes to the transfer portal. They lose more on defense, but I'm telling you, they got a lot of playmakers coming back next year too. It's just an exciting time to get involved and get excited about Missouri football for sure. 6:45, September 25th. Happy Thursday, St. Louis. We got through some of the rain. It's going to be a lot of sunshine today. Enjoy it if you can get outside to enjoy everything that's happening. And if there's stories, things that are happening in the St. Louis area, let us know. We're glad that you jump in with us. We're here until 8 o'clock. And best we can. So I will see front. Yesterday, we gave you rankings from the U.S. News and World Report when it came to St. Louis area schools on the list. I can't remember the specific ones. I know that Wash U came in at 20, which was no surprise. They're always there. They were actually up from last year. The U.S. News, and I was trying to look it back up. We found Missouri on the list. It was around 100. I think it was around 100. But anyway, we didn't break it down from the SEC standpoint because I know a lot of people talk about where kids from the St. Louis area go and what they want to do and how they're looking at certain things. Just to give you an idea where they were when it ranks universities on a variety of issues. Like Princeton was number 1, MIT was 2, Harvard 3, Stanford 4, Yale 5, University of Chicago 6, Duke 7, Johns Hopkins 8, Northwestern 9, and Penn 10. Wash U came in at 20. I know they were tied at 20. So that was a big one, to say the least. Missouri, let's see where we were at here. Looking that back up. I'm trying to find, I had it here. And then let's see where we're at. Anyway, I can't find it right now, but Missouri was around 100. Missouri was actually 102. So Missouri was 102. And then you had SLU was there as well. SLU was right around. Oh, let me put that in. I had to, before I can move on from that, I had to, because I thought St. Louis University was right around there as well. Maybe 80 something. I can't find it. That's all right. Anyway, looking at the SEC schools, we told you where Missouri was from that standpoint. Okay. So I look at the list and what you have from the SEC standpoint. Number 1 in the SEC, Vanderbilt. No surprise, they're coming in at 17. They've been known as the best all-around university academics when it comes to SEC. Number 2, not surprised here, was Florida coming in at 30. Florida has always had a good reputation. After that, I was a little bit surprised, but Florida and Texas tied at 30. So it was Vanderbilt with 17. These are the top SEC schools when it came to the U.S. News and World Report. Of course, Missouri tied with Auburn at 102. Then you had Vanderbilt was first at 17. Then Florida and Texas tied for second in the SEC, both at 30. Georgia, third in the SEC at 46th overall in the country. Texas A&M, I'd never seen them on the list, at 51, the cadet school, of course. And then you had Auburn and Missouri at 102. Oh, actually, you had Auburn, Missouri, and Tennessee. They all tied at 102. So Missouri's still upper echelon school in the SEC when it comes to that. Last in the SEC, Mississippi State. Sorry, they're down at 208, and second to last was Arkansas. And if we can ever get a dig on Arkansas, we will. They're a little rival to the south. So interesting when it comes to the rankings from my standpoint on SEC when it comes to the college rankings of universities. By the way, what did we have on there too? We had schools that were SIU Carbondale wasn't too bad. Maryville dropped a couple spots. But it is what it is. I always promote Maryville because you know what Maryville is known for, right? Right? Video.
Yeah.
E-games, baby.
Yeah,
Esports. Number one in America.
Yeah.
Esports. Literally, they started giving scholarships. Did you do an interview with them?
Oh, no. I was looking for them for like basketball and stuff, but no.
Esports. They became a national power in esports just because they had a vision. A new president said, I want to attack this area. I can't remember. He hired a guy who said, give me some scholarships and I'll get you a national title. And they've won 30. It was like 20 to 30 national championships. And there's different divisions in the last 10 years. Maryville, that's right. In our backyard of St. Louis. And you may think you're good at video games. Oh, I play all day and okay. It's a whole nother level. It is. I mean, literally. And the amount of time that those kids put into it, and I call them kids because they are, with their studies and then sitting in front of their video games is absolutely insane.
Yes, they have 11 players sent to pro, 11 national championships, and 35 major championships.
And does it say what time frame? I'm curious. That is interesting what you're talking about. 30 championships?
Yeah.
That's okay. That's the stat that I was thinking about. What does it mean going pro in e-gaming?
Like going pro is when they have like different leagues and different just it's like companies
there's a lot of and the amount of money around the manufacturing of these games and the games that are sold is insane, and the advertising dollar around e-game. And all you have to do is, I mean, look at streaming. Look at all the people who are streaming live video games. Look at the people who follow all around the world watching people play video games and learning. Blew my freaking mind, Rye. Absolutely blew my mind. But the epicenter of the e-gaming universe is St. Louis at Maryville University. So we like to promote when we can. It's all good. Are you a video games guy?
Yeah, I was playing 2K last night till 12 in the morning. And,
what? You weren't working on our morning show?
Yeah, I wouldn't be on any of these teams because they have League of Legends, Valorant, Overwatch, and Rocket League.
Yeah, so that's exactly.
Those are the most competitive leagues, though. So
okay, explain what you do compared to those competitive leagues and what the difference is.
So I play NBA 2K, which has their own esports side. They used to have their own 2K league, but I don't know. Well, I do know what happened. Players were betting on themselves and they disbanded it. It was all with the NBA and everything. But now they have separate leagues that are somewhat considered pro leagues now, but it's just the former 2K league players just playing and putting up money against each other now. But
so it's basically I'm bringing money and I'm going to bet like a card game.
It's kind of like, because there's organizations that invest in you that will put up and invest in you and let you just focus on that. But at the same time, there's just tournaments where you can just get your 5 guys and go up against these professional players as well.
Are you wearing like NASCAR jerseys for advertising? Do they wear hats?
Yeah, actually,
they should be
in the actual NBA 2K league. They wore like the NBA team affiliate just colors, but it was like a different logo, but it was something like that. But
no, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool, but it's not on the same level as Rocket League and Valorant and League of Legends and Overwatch because they just are staples in competitive gaming. So,
I mean, I don't know. I guess you watch. I don't know how you coach e-gaming. I don't know. But they got it. We'll have to do an interview again with Maryville. But it's a whole new level, and there's not a lot of spots, but it is super, super, super competitive. Just like if you have a son that's trying to be a quarterback or whatever in the day of NIL, You've got to be the best. I mean, there's no freebies, and don't think that there's any easy way about it. And getting scholarships in this day and age in anything, you got to pay the price. You have to have some good fortune, and then make the most of every single opportunity that you get. And that's coming from a gamer as well, from that standpoint of those things that can happen. We are Art City now. We're off and rolling. The fastest 2 hours in broadcasting in the St. Louis area, at least from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday. Art City now. By the way, if you want to check out the entire list of all the programming that we have throughout the day, throughout the week, you go to luinfo.com. Once again, that's luinfo.com. And if you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome. The phone number is 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. You can also jump in on YouTube. The other platforms like X and Facebook are coming. But right now, if you want to jump in on YouTube, you can do that. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share the show, talk with us. We'll get your comments out there. What's going on in the St. Louis area that you want to talk about? A lot of homecomings going on throughout the area. Not only high school, you've got high school football tonight, high school football tomorrow, NFL action tonight, the prime game of the week. You've got the Cardinals hosting the Seahawks. That should be an interesting game as well. Plus, the Cardinals with the day off. We'll reset everything coming up in our next hour and get to some also news headlines from around the St. Louis area as well. So jump in, let us know. We are your Lou Information Station. We're live. We're on demand at luinfo.com. Am I early? Am I early for the break?
Somewhat early. You have a minute.
Okay. Dang, I still have a minute. Okay. So that gives me a moment. Just wrapping up the Cardinals. We'll get back into it. They lost last night. They are officially eliminated. Finally, that little tooth that's been hanging, you just need to get, as a kid, you need to pull it out. The tooth was finally pulled out last night. Okay. Now we can move on. There's still 3 meaningless games to play in Chicago. The Cubs, maybe with a little bit more to play for. They've already locked in with their playoff spot. It's just a matter of if they're going to stay ahead of San Diego. So Cardinals will be in Chicago this weekend, finish that series out. And thankfully, the last home games in St. Louis were played last week so that could all be done. All right, we'll take our break. We'll get back for this second hour of Art City now. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for joining us. Back with more right after this.
Buddy? What do you say, buddy?
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. Glad you're with us. Happy Thursday morning. 7:05 is the time. What's going on in your area? What's going on in your town? What do you want to talk about? Shout outs. We do that as well. Who's helped you? What businesses? What do you want to do? You can jump in on the chat line. You can do that on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share the show. Also, you can give us a call if you want to. 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. We are your Lou Information Station. We are always live and on demand at louinfo.com. Coming up, just under an hour, 8 o'clock, Hot Take Central 2.0, former Blue Cam Jansen. Also, you've got Jim the Cat Hayes, Cardinals broadcaster. One thing that I did see talking about the Blues as they continue to practice, they got a game this weekend, first preseason game, Saturday. I think that's Saturday. When's the 27th? That's, what's it, Thursday? So that'd be Saturday. If you want to, there's a meet and greet with Pavel Buchnevich. Here's a pretty good all-around guy, the Blue, Pavel Buchnevich. There's a meet and greet with him. He'll be at the Kirkwood Normal Brand store. Once again, Pavel Buchnevich, the number 89 for the Blues sweater, will be doing a meet and greet over at the Normal Brand in the Kirkwood store. That's this weekend. That's actually tomorrow night from 5 to 7. Swing by. You can say hi. Take a look at the very good Normal Brand clothes that they have. Plus, you can have a meet and greet with Mr. Pavel Buchnevich from the St. Louis Blues. Always like to promote whatever we can. Blues have some new unis as well. Normal Brand always has new clothes. Check it out. Little Jim Sansone and crew do a phenomenal job over there. Big and Ian, love the clothes. Check it out with the St. Louis Blues. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, there we go. Got it. What else is going on? We'll get into all of that with you guys today. Something else going on this weekend. When we talk about this and where you're going and what's happening when it comes to the world of golf. Now, I know things can be expensive, and it's 2025, and things always seem to get more expensive. But the Ryder Cup is taking place this weekend at Bethpage Black in Farmingdale, New York. Obviously, it features matches from the United States against the best golfers from Europe. The first day started with the practice rounds, culminating in single matches on the final day. So, with that being said, this may blow your mind. This is great. How about beer prices? And I was going to give you the pictures to put on YouTube, but I'll just talk about it. We'll catch up on that later. I've never, these prices are unbelievable. Now, critics say the high prices, and these are not only high prices, but sky high prices. When it comes, they say it's to keep fans on their best behavior, but it's a Ryder Cup. Come on. You know things are going to be cray-cray, especially in the United States. How about this for pricing on alcoholic beverages just to watch the Ryder Cup? Michelob Ultra, 16 ounce. Remember Michelob Ultra now, the most popular beer in America. It's the most sold beer in America right now. Michelob Ultra. For one 16 ounce Michelob Ultra, it is $15. $15 for a 16 ounce Mick Ultra. A Michelob Ultra 25 ounce is $18. A Michelob Ultra Zero, I don't even know what that is. That's even more of the diet beer. $12. A 16 ounce Bud Light, $15. A premium beer, I guess that's the craft beer, 16 ounce, $16. And then a 19 ounce craft beer is $19. Bud Light Seltzer, that's what you drink, Ryan. Bud Light Seltzer, $16. I'm teasing.
No.
16 ounce. And a High Noon, you know what the High Noons are? High Noon Tequila Seltzer, $16. I mean, if you're out walking around, I mean, before you know it, you spent $50 on a couple drinks. They expect tip after that too? That's insane. Oh, but that's not it. That's not it, everybody. The specialty cocktails, like your amaretto sours, rye, something called the All-American Transfusion. You know, you've got, it's vodka. It's kind of a vodka drink. $19.50. So essentially $20 for a specialty drink. $20 for a specialty cocktail. And then they have other classic cocktails. Little bourbon, tequila, things like that. Bloody Mary, $17.50. I mean, maybe this isn't all that crazy from what we're used to paying at sporting events. It just seemed like it was a lot to me for the Ryder Cup, but that's a lot of money. A lot of money going to be made on refreshments, alcohol, drinks at Bethpage for the Ryder Cup, which is going on this weekend. And St. Louis is a big golf town. We have a lot of golfing areas, golf courses, a lot of great golf instruction, and a lot of people play golf. And you should. It's an amazing sport that you can have with you for your entire life. And the Ryder Cup is big. It is as big as it gets. It really is. And I'm excited for it. But if you're going, you're paying a lot of money for those prices, for those alcoholic prices at Bethpage Black. USA. I bet we'll hear those chants. At least I'm planning on hearing those chants this weekend in New York as the team gets set to go at it. Yeah, just a lot of freaking money as I look at that. Augusta does it right. They keep their drinks down low. But anyway, Farmingdale, New York, things are expensive when it comes to the Ryder Cup. This is Art City Now, covering all things St. Louis all the time and national stories that can be pushed back down into localizing our St. Louis area, whether they're activities, entertainment, you name it, we talk about it. And of course, we love it when you guys jump in. Speaking of this weekend, it's homecoming at Mizzou. The game at 6:30, that shouldn't be so great. I mean, go and watch Missouri dominate for a while. But the weather's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Homecoming in Columbia, second to none. Really second to none. It is that great. Great school, great environment, great party day. No doubt about it. If people want to go up for the day, what a great day just to go up for homecoming. Enjoy the day. If you don't have anything else that's going on, a lot of high school homecomings that are going on as well. See where that all goes. There's a big homecoming that I know about. MICDS John Burroughs. Not that. Yeah, we'll just leave it there. It's a big one as well. Also, we were talking about this earlier. The Cardinals last night, obviously, were officially eliminated. All right, it is what it is. They were officially eliminated. The season was done. They're 78-81. They lost 4-3 in San Francisco. Off today. Have a weekend series coming up in Chicago. Pretty much a worthless series. All right, fine, whatever. It is what it is. We know what's happened with this season. And John Mozeliak leaving, and I wasn't trying to pile on John Mozeliak. Yeah, the beginning of his tenure was pretty good. And I've heard, and I don't know if this is just fan in general or if it's St. Louis broadcaster, if it's St. Louis fan, but if you're unhappy, you have every right to be as a fan, and I'm telling you why. Just remember, it wasn't just the last 3 years that the Cardinals started to fade. They won one playoff series in a decade. Does that seem like that's acceptable in St. Louis? One playoff series in 10 years. 4 playoff appearances, and you won one of them. That wasn't the standard that was set in St. Louis. And if my expectations are too high, I apologize. I do, but I don't. It sounds nice to say it, but I don't. That's not acceptable for me. And so many people still want to talk about Mosaic and, oh, we did so. Yeah, the beginning was good, but 1 playoff series in 10 years? Really? We should celebrate 1 playoff series in 10 years? I say not. It's all right. It's not life or death, but that's not what I want. That's not the baseball I want. But with John Mozeliak leaving and Heimblum taking over, I did start to look. So I'm not just trying to be negative. It's one thing to rip things down and rip people apart and not have a solution. I've always thought, Mr. Rye, if you're going to rip something down, okay, have a solution. It's easy to pick apart. It's easy to tear down. How are you going to build it back up? What are you going to do to make things better? We're human. We make mistakes. Things go wrong. It happens. All right. Admit the problem and get better. You don't have to be who you were before. And hopefully the seeds have been planted. And this is where I'm going from the positive standpoint when it comes to the Birds, because St. Louis, or the Cardinals, are as St. Louis as anything in the past. We like to hold on to things that are good, not only as humans, but as St. Louisans, things that we cling to. And I'm sorry, we have not had a lot of sports success in recent years. We had our Blues in 19, and it was one of the most phenomenal things ever. And we're hoping for the Blues to get back there. But it's been a long time since we've had anything go really, really well with the Cardinals, and that's just a fact. But here's some positive news. If you haven't really been following closely, people who are really into baseball know what's been happening with the Cardinals AA affiliate. But they literally just capped off a historic 2025 season. And I'm looking for the positive, and there could be some really good things that are going there. They literally just won the Texas League Championship. That's right. Springfield, Missouri, now the 2025 Texas League champs. And we're talking about not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 different Cardinal prospects collecting 3 hits and 4 pitchers combining to allow just 1 run. They won 13-1 over Midland. You've heard the name J.J. Weatherholt too. Yeah, he's one of the top prospects in all of baseball. He was doing his thing as well. He was the MVP this season, J.J. Weatherholt. Henderson, their pitcher of the year award, all-star nods for Joshua Baez and Matthew Motz. I mean, let's just think about this. Weatherholt's a top 5 prospect in baseball. Baez and Leonardo Bernal are, they're considered to be top 100 prospects in the game. You've got the aforementioned Motz and Henderson had breakout campaigns. They've got some really good arms. Liam Doyle, Tink Hintz. There's a lot of good things that could be coming. And the Cardinals, we know their future is now what they're looking at. So AA, you got some prospects in St. Louis. It may take a year, 2 years, whatever, but there is a positive there. I'm trying to find that silver lining for our Cardinals as this season comes to an end. Are you following me with it? I hope so, because it's pretty good. I mean, that's a good thing. At least there's some hope. It doesn't seem like we've had much coming up from prospects in recent years that have actually turned out to be really good, to be solid baseball players. Correct me if I'm wrong. But those are some of the things that are happening, some of those things that are going on right now. So congrats to the Cardinals AA affiliate winning the Texas League Championship over Midland 13-1. Huge deal when it comes to breaking down what's happening there. Talked about it with the Cardinals. Obviously, they lost last night. They're 78-81. They'd have to sweep the Cubs in Chicago this weekend and go 81-81. I don't think that's going to happen. That's fine. It is what it is. But things could be worse. I guess it could have been a season. Well, I think I'd rather us win 30 games than go 81-81 in a season like this. Better draft picks, more to complain about. But they're right there again. It's kind of the lukewarm water. It's like,
A consistent mid.
a consistent mid. It's like, okay. How you feel about your Cardinals? Okay. It is what it is. So they're in Chicago this weekend. Cubs going to the playoffs. Milwaukee won the division. They're going to the playoffs. The Cardinals are not. And we've won one playoff series in the last 10 years. That needs to be the goal. They've got to win a playoff series. I know you got to get to the playoffs. They've done that 4 times in 10 years. But you got to win a darn playoff series. I forgot what it's like. Seriously. What used to be baseball heaven was not so much this year or last year. By the way, a shout out to, for the sports fans out there, Cal Raleigh, 60 home runs. Phenomenal. I mean, he joins phenomenal company in doing that. If you're in baseball, you know who he is. But the average fan, not that familiar. But Cal Raleigh, he's just a quiet, humble catcher for the Mariners. But he's an exclusive club. I mean, you're talking about the muscle milk guys, Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, and Sammy Sosa. They're not in the Hall for a reason. Maybe they should be in a separate wing. We know what they did. Aaron Judge, Roger Maris, and Babe Ruth. Oh, and then Cal Raleigh. Yeah, pretty impressive company. Congrats to him. Seattle has themselves a superstar. And baseball needs some stories like this because it's been pretty blah. And not just because of how I feel about the Cardinals. It's been blah. Kind of blah, blah. Speaking of sports tonight, NFL action, NFL game of the week, super popular. The old Cardinals getting a prime time spot on Prime, hosting the Seattle Seahawks, both teams 2-1. Seattle a favorite on the road, 1.5 favorite. I think the over-under was 43.5 for our betting people out there. But that should be an interesting game to watch on Prime. Chiefs, a lot of Chief fans in the area. Huge game for them already this week. They're 1-2. And the last thing that they need to do is start 1-3 if they're planning on making the playoffs. They host the Packers, and the Packers are 2-1 after starting out 2-0. Got upset by the Browns last weekend in a terrible offensive performance. The Browns have a good defense, but still, they don't want to start off 2-0, especially in or 2-2, especially in a division with the Lions and Vikings. So that's a big popular game. NFL action tonight. If you guys are jumping in from that standpoint, you'll have that going on as well. Talked about homecoming this weekend for Mizzou. And the other thing about Mizzou, which is pretty darn interesting, at least from my perspective, is this. The CBS Sports Line playoff chances at this point, going into week 5 of the college football season, were released. Missouri on that list right now is 8th. Those are the betting odds percentage chances at looking at the schedules and what people have done to date. They're 8th at almost 50% chance of making it, 49.9%. That is 8. And that's impressive. And that's only, I repeat, that's only 0.3% behind Miami, which is in 7. So those two are like statistically right there at 7 and 8. Miami, did you really think that Miami and Missouri, statistically, according to CBS Sportsline, had almost identical odds to make the playoffs at this point in time? No, you're thinking Miami does. That's Missouri. That's where Missouri is. Miami 50.2, Missouri 49.9, 0.3%. They are statistically almost identical chances right now of making the college football playoff. I know it's hard for Missouri fan to start thinking about that. And I know the coaches don't want you to think about that. But, so you're saying there's a chance. Number 1 on that list is Penn State at 86%. And they look at their schedules and where they're playing and, of course, the competition. Number 2, Ohio State at 84.5. Number 3, Oregon, 76.4. Georgia, 73.2. Ole Miss, 5 at 70.8. Texas, at 63.9. That means, in my humble opinion, Texas would probably have to run the table. And I'm assuming they think that they can, especially now that John Mateer, the Oklahoma quarterback, won't be playing in that game. 7, Miami, 50.2. And, of course, Missouri at 8, 49.9. Then it jumps all the way down to 45.3%. LSU, 44%. Texas A&M, 35%. CBS believes that Missouri is going to beat Alabama. I know. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. Then Louisville, 33.7. Michigan, 32.7. Memphis, who's undefeated and already beat Arkansas, 29%, considering the rest of their schedule. USC, 28%. And then Iowa State, 27.6%. So Missouri sitting right there, obviously, as we've looked at it, they've got every game is a tough game. Let's just say it is. But they've got 4 real kind of turning point games. 4 of them. And you already know who they are. It's Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt. It's at OU. Home against Texas A&M. And then you got Auburn. So they've got some work to do. They just need to take care. It's homecoming in Columbia this weekend. And of course, which is basically a bye week against UMass. They'll be plenty healthy, or should be plenty healthy, to take on Alabama the following week, Saturday morning at 11 a.m. So it's good. It's good. We're here. Okay. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Art City Now, all things St. Louis all the time. If you have a story, jump it on YouTube right now. You can also give us a call. If you don't want to put your comments out there, you can also give us a call. The phone number is 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. YouTube, if you want to say something, you can join us there as well. We'll get that comment out. If you have stories, you want to give shout outs to any St. Louis people, businesses, what's going on in your town, what events are going on, not only today, but for the rest of the weekend. You can do that. You can let us know as well. And we'll certainly promote that as best as we can. Following us every day is Hot Take Central 2.0, the former Blue, Cam Jansen, and Cardinals broadcaster, Jim the Cat Hayes. We talked about it a little bit ago, too. Tomorrow night, if you want to go catch up with Pavel Buchnevich, you can go over to Normal Brand at Kirkwood. He'll be over there from 5 to 7. Stop by, say hi. I don't know if he'll be wearing his 89 sweater, but I'm sure you'll be able to pick him out. Maybe they'll have him at a table, but you can also check out the great things that they have over at the Normal Brand as well. All right, guys, we have one more segment left in the show this morning. We are rocking and rolling, moving fast. We are your Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. We'll continue to go over some of those headlines. We'll also let you know about something new that Enterprise Center will have for the fans this year. Back with more Art City Now right after this. Show. It's Art City now, getting you up and going every morning, Monday through Friday. We like to bring the energy to the St. Louis area in the mornings, and it's always a little easier when the sun is shining. It's a beautiful fall day, September 25th, and the weather is absolutely gorgeous. All right, it's going to be just under 80 today for a high, lots of sunshine. We're here. If you want to give us a call, you can do that as well. Phone number is 855-282-8255. Once again, 855-282-8255 if you want to jump in on the show. As always, we're your Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. And, of course, you can jump in right now on YouTube. Talk with us there. Get your comments in. We'll get them out there for you. Also, from that standpoint, if you want to just chime in, we can do that. We'll do it. We'll get things going on. We want to know what's happening in your neck of the woods in the St. Louis area. And that's why we're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Hot Take Central 2.0. Cam Jansen, the former Blue, and Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. They take you from 8 to 10 with Hot Take Central 2.0. Lots to get to here in the final segments. If you guys want to jump in, that's great. We love it when you do. Also, just some very bizarre things happening. This guy just totally out of touch, 100% out of touch. All right, let's just get into this really quick. Have you ever purchased tickets off Ticketmaster, another service? Live Nation's CEO, Michael Rapino, says that, and this is exactly what he says. He says that concert tickets are underpriced. You agree? You agree? He says, in sports, I joke it's like a badge of honor to spend $70,000 for a Knicks courtside seat. And then I get beat up if we charge $800 for Beyonce. That was his quote. And he says that if you think we're stripping out some crucial context thing again, he was pretty clear. I mean, this guy is very clear. He thinks that we should be paying more for concert tickets because he says music is underappreciated. He thinks that concert tickets should be the same as professional sports tickets for big games. You agree? That's, I don't know. He literally told Rolling Stone, when you read about ticket prices going up, the average concert price is still $72. That's the average. He's like, try go to a Laker game for that. And there's 80 of them. So he says the concert is underpriced and has been for a long time. And he thinks ticket prices should be increased by all those involved. All of those. I mean, all right, man, we'll see. I mean, people are still going to their concerts. And St. Louis is a concert-going city. Go out to Hollywood, Enterprise, people that come here, they get sold out. And they're always talking about they can't believe the support that they get in St. Louis. Okay, on average, a ticket to Taylor Swift's latest tour, $3,000 in Indianapolis. The capital of a state with a median income of like $72,000. The price of a single ticket was double the average monthly rent in the city. I don't know if that could be underpriced, but of course we're taking the example of Taylor Swift. So how much did Live Nation's CEO, Mr. Rapino, make last year? How about $33 million? That's insane. Good for you, man. I disagree. I don't know. I guess there's all kinds of ways, as I was talking about to begin this show. You can philosophize anything in life and say what you want. Ray says, good morning, Vic. Good morning to you, too. We appreciate you guys jumping in on the show, saying hi here on YouTube, here Monday through Friday, of course, 6 to 8 a.m. All things St. Louis all the time. Speaking of prices, talked about it a little bit earlier in the show. Ryder Cup begins this weekend. Bethpage Black, huge golfing event. I don't know. I mean, the prices to me seem like they're a little high, but if you're going to events, are they? Am I out of touch? Tell me this. Let me know. Okay. We're talking about alcohol, drink prices at Bethpage Black this weekend. A 16-ounce Michelob Ultra, $15. A 25-ounce Michelob Ultra, $18. And you can get a 12-ounce Michelob Ultra Zero. I don't even know what that is. Diet, more like a diet beer, $12. A 16-ounce Bud Light, $15. A seltzer, $16. And then a craft 19-ounce, $19. I don't know. It just seems like a lot. So those better taste really good. The specialty cocktails, they're pretty much $17.50 to $19.50, and then their classic cocktails $17.50 for one. Is it that outrageous that that's where they are from a golfing standpoint when it comes to the Ryder Cup? I don't know, but when I saw it, I went, "Oh, that's surprising. That seems like a lot." And to me, it was. And I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I'm saying, yeah, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, especially if you have a few. Before you know it, those things can add up. And that's before tip. If you decide to tip, that can certainly add up. But Ryder Cup going on. Obviously, Mizzou in action this weekend. Homecoming game. If you're heading to Mizzou, you can let us know. To Columbia, homecoming day. Weather's going to be just perfect. Little teeny bit warm, but very comfortable for homecoming, and dry, which is super damn important. Mizzou plays 6:30 that night. Told you in the last segment, Missouri's 8th right now overall in chances to make the college football playoff. That's what they're predicting, according to CBS Sportsline. 8th at 49.9%. Basically in a statistical tie with Miami, who's just ahead of them. That's right, Miami. All right. Go do it, Tigers. Love to see it. So homecoming there, games at 6:30 against UMass Saturday night. High school football throughout the St. Louis area, Thursday nights. Now there are games. If you guys want to throw a shout out there for your high school teams. Most of the games played on Fridays, but because of the shortage, of course, of referees, not only through St. Louis, but throughout Missouri. I was talking to an official at the Kansas game, old friend of mine, who's an official now. He says it's really that bad. And he says while you can deal with parents, he's like, in football, it's not bad. He's like, because you're so far away from the field. He's like, where it's bad are the sports like basketball, where they're right on top of you. That's where it can get bad. Umpires for baseball. But football, he's like, they've just gone away. But he thinks more of the problem when it comes to officiating and why they play games on Thursday nights, which I think is absolutely ridiculous in the St. Louis area. Because number one, you're taking away the Friday night experience. Number two, you've got games and things. I mean, kids going out on Thursday nights. You're not getting home till like 10:30 at night, maybe 11. These kids have school the next day too, on top of it. So it's what Misha says they have to do. They have no other chance, no other way of making this work because they can't get officials. It's not part of the reason was that they didn't want to be yelled at or by parents, and that shouldn't happen. But in football, he's like, Vic, we don't really get yelled at in football. Every night, he's like, but we're far away from the field. He's like, it's money, because the amount of money per game is not very good. It's unfortunate. It's money. So they have to play these games on Thursday night, just in case if you didn't know. So they've got some games on Thursday, Friday, and then some on Saturday, and the same crews do the games. They do multiple games. So Thursday night football also going on. Rye talked about it earlier. Here at the station, we are also the home of East St. Louis Flyer football. They play a game Saturday night. You can catch that right here. I believe he said 7 o'clock. I believe that's what the time was. So that's going on. NFL action tonight. Cardinals hosting the Seahawks. Talked about that a little bit earlier. Also, when it comes to some of the other news headlines, things that are making news in the St. Louis and Missouri area. How about Bass Pro Shops? One of our state's leading companies, leading industries, leading brands. And this is very, very good to hear what they're happening, but they've purchased a company, a hobby cat company from a private equity group. And what they're doing, that company was started in 1950. What they said in the garage of parents' summer home in Laguna Beach, California. So they've purchased this. Bass Pro Shops have. So what they're doing is the hobby production is going to be moved to Lebanon, Missouri, right near Bass Pro Shops headquarters in the Ozarks. And they're also going to be bringing all those jobs back to Missouri. That were lots of those jobs were, and the number hasn't been announced, were overseas, and they're going to come back to the Missouri area. So that's good to hear. Bass Pro Shops, very popular in the St. Louis area, but extremely popular in the state of Missouri. Love to hear that. That's very, very good news when it comes to hopefully, strengthening the state. We're better as a state. We know what our issues in the St. Louis area, but it's also good to get things as strong as possible in the state from that standpoint. Also, as the Blues get ready, got a preseason game at home this weekend as they get ready to get things going on. Crumble Cookies joining the lineup of vendors over at Enterprises Center. They're offering viral baked goods to Blues fans. So what's going to happen? Crumble Cookies is going to sell its product at Enterprise Center this year. So they began operating at Busch Stadium back in March, and now they're making the jump over to Enterprise Center. So you can get your Crumble Cookies over there if that's something that you're all about. And by the way, if you didn't know all that Enterprise has over there, a lot of local restaurants. And of course, we love to promote everything St. Louis as we possibly can, making sure you know what's happening. Rosalita's Cantina, Ice is Playing, Fancy, Ramblin' Rounds, Steve's Hot Dogs, which are amazing, Sugar Fire Smokehouse, Chicken Out, and High Point. They're all currently operating in Enterprise Center. So as you get to the Blues or other events that are happening or heading to Enterprise Center, you have those vendors that are also there for you. And as you're going to some of these games, be sure to check out something else to be checking out is the addition of the Blues newly refreshed Blue Note logo. You're going to see it all throughout the building. Obviously, if you haven't seen it yet, it's taking its mark from the team's 67 founding. I love the new Blue Note. Absolutely love it. So you're going to be able to see that. There's allegedly faster Wi-Fi in Enterprise Center, which is very, very good. They literally, the Verizon Business Center, they just recently completed a refresh of the arena's Wi-Fi system, improving connectivity. That's good. And other things. Those are just some of the things that are happening at Enterprise this year as the Blues get back to action, trying to make that game night, game day, match, whatever you want to call it, experience a little bit more exciting when it comes to getting to a game, on top of what we are certainly hoping is good action from the Blues. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Hot Take Central follows us. If you want to jump in and let us know anything that's happening in the St. Louis area, shout outs for anything, let us know. We'll do that. We'll continue to talk about it on this Thursday. So glad you're with us as we continue to talk all things St. Louis all the time, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Just jump on in. Tell us what's happening from that standpoint. The other thing that we were talking about earlier, and that's a positive, definitely a positive. And I don't know if I talked about it enough or a lot, but maybe I should. And by the way, in morning TV, local over there at Fox 2, John Pertzborn set to retire. Morning show guy, 40 years. He's had enough. Time to go rest. Congratulations on a good career to John Pertzborn. There's an article this morning on their website talking about that, which is very, very good. Also wanted to give people an update when it comes to the Rams settlement money. $30 million of the $280 million it's still going to be used. They're still trying to earmark it and get some updates on where that money is going and when, but 30 million of it was to help tornado relief throughout the St. Louis area. But that's Rams money. That's been a super popular topic for a long time when it comes to how are we going to use that money. Okay, we had the Rams taken from us. How are we going to make sure that that money is used how it should be and that it's not squandered because, you know, different people get their hands into certain things and think this is better or that's better. But they're certainly looking at it. The chair of the city's Budget and Public Employees Committee said that he and other members just got an update on tornado recovery efforts, including the funds from the Rams settlement lawsuit. There's about $280 million sitting there, or at least at last check. 30 million of it was going towards helping tornado victims. But they're continuing to ask for transparency. Why do they need to ask for transparency? Shouldn't that be transparent already? He and others said that they've expressed for the funds to be utilized sooner, but said in many cases the city's faced with legal obligations that have to be met before the money can be distributed. Okay, fair enough. But why? I mean, if he's saying that plans have to be in place and they just don't want to put all this money out, then a year from now they don't have any data and don't have a system in place to be able to say this is how the money actually helped. All of that seems pretty basic to me if you're giving $30 million, right? At least they're planning on having more meetings about actually seeing where the money goes to make sure that it's going to help. I mean, this all went down a little bit earlier in the year. The St. Louis Board of Aldermen approved $30 million from that Rams settlement money to help out with cleanup for the tornado relief. So what we found out so far of that $30 million of the Rams money, the chief financial recovery officer for the city, Jim Hill, said that $22.8 million has either been spent already or is in the process of being deployed. Recovery funding includes money for nonprofits involved with tornado relief. Other areas of funding include contracts to turn 219 vacant units into intermediate housing, disaster care management, resource hubs, debris removal, and community services. It's like $30 million in the city for tornado relief and recovery. Has it worked? Is it working? Is it helping? I don't know. They had, public comment. They always have that portion at their meeting last night. And, there's a lot of businesses in the Delmar area that are still struggling and need immediate help. They need grants. Direct forgivable support is what they were asking for in weeks, not months. They're heading into winter. It's not a great situation. You just hope that $30 million of that Rams money does go to really, really help the community to make sure. And by the way, if people were still looking for help, FEMA in-person assistance, today's the last day. So if you're planning on seeing FEMA in person, which is really the way to go, you got to get that done today. The Urban League Entrepreneurship and Women's Business Center is where they are today, and also over at Union Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church. Those are the last two centers if you need help from that standpoint to go visit. But they said they've had over 10,000 visits since they've set up shop. That shows you the need. That shows you just how significant the damage is and what's happening right now in North St. Louis, Delmar area, and others that got hit, slammed with that tornado and what was happening from that standpoint. From a more positive standpoint too, Cardinals AA team, Springfield Birds, won the Texas League Championship yesterday. 13 won the final. Cardinals have about 5 or 6 real strong prospects on that team. J.J. Weatherholt leading the charge, considered to be a top 5 prospect in baseball right now. So there's hope for the future. Even after the Birds lost last night in San Francisco, they're 78-81, have a 3-game series coming up in Chicago this weekend. They're not going to the playoffs. They were officially eliminated yesterday, so no more joking about that. So you're saying there's a chance. No, there's no chance. They're going home, and they need to get better. And this is the opportunity to do that with Hein Bloom. If you didn't hear most of the show earlier, or if you're just tuning in, I don't know about you, but for me, we can talk about how good this run has been over the last 15, 20 years. Yeah, okay. Overall, yeah, compared to some cities. But if you only win one playoff series in 10 years, I'm not taking it. Sorry, not settling for one playoff series win in 10 years. The ride has not been so good. I'm sorry. That's not Cardinal heaven. That's not Cardinal baseball. That's not what gets people to come. And eventually it just starts to wear and tear on people, which is why you saw such apathy this year and 1 million less in attendance in a 2-year period. That's right. In 2023 to this year, 1 million less people. That's how fast things have gone all of a sudden. No, it's been a long run. You only win one playoff series in 10 years and then do what you did this last year. That's what's going to happen. It's a reality of it. So we try to cover everything that we can, St. Louis related. Glad you guys are with us and bring the stories to us and just let us know. Continue to reach out. Let us know all the things that are happening all around. And of course, we'll do that. We'll talk St. Louis. We'll talk things that make sense from not only the local standpoint, but across the country. And of course, we appreciate you being here with us to make sure that all of that happens. And we always love it when you guys share your thoughts and continue to follow us and everything else that we have going on. And of course, as we told you, we like to just make sure people know what's happening. We gave you the listings of the best colleges and where U.S. News and World Report local schools were. I always thought it's interesting. We'll always listen to what you guys have to say. Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us in just a few minutes. And of course, you got Thursday Night Football, not Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football with Prime tonight. Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals hosting Seattle. We'll see what happens in that game coming up for tomorrow. And the Ryder Cup begins this weekend. Get ready for some good golf. Hopefully the Americans can be the best at what they were. We've got a shout out from Maryville University today and their e-gaming with Ryan, breaking that down for us, trying to understand everything that is the e-gaming world. You're going to play some video games today too, aren't you?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, of course you are. Yeah. I knew it as well.
Yeah. After I get out of here.
Yeah, of course you are. Of course you are. And it totally makes sense. We'll be here. We'll try to do it better every single day. Just let us know what's on your neck of the woods or what's going on in your area. It's going to be a beautiful weather day. One of the best times of year in St. Louis this spring, this weather, or not spring, but the fall, springing into fall. It's officially fall. It's going to feel what I meant to say a little bit like spring as we head into the weekend with warmer temperatures, but enjoy it. Keep posted with us. Have an awesome day. That's for sure. And Cardinals with the off day. You got high school football we were talking about. By the way, what time is East St. Louis tomorrow or Saturday night?
It's Friday night.
Oh, it's Friday, tomorrow night.
Yep. And they play at 7 p.m. They play Belleville West. It's at East St. Louis. East Side is 1-2, but as you know, they play a national schedule. They just started playing Illinois teams because nobody in St. Louis want to play them because they're scared.
It's a problem.
So they are playing their conference games, and they started with Alton last week, and they play Belleville West tomorrow.
Yeah, it happened with CBC too. They couldn't get people to play them because they say, well, you recruit your private school. So CBC's had to play more of a national schedule too. So good luck to all of our local teams, and I was playing each other. You do your best. Hey guys, we are your Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. That's producer Ryan. I'm Vic Faust. Thanks for joining us again today. We'll see you bright-eyed, bushy-tailed tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. for another Art City Now. Have a great day. Stay positive.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.